coming at you. We just want to pick up QTB, Bob Sinclair. It's a dance thing, you see me? Somewhere you just bounce up. Yeah.
Everybody dance now. Let's go. Oh. Let's go. Make it hot. Come on. Let's go. Rock. Rock. Say what? Rock. Let's go. Everybody dance now. Rock this party. Dance everybody. Make it hot in this party. Don't stop. Move your body. Rock this party. Dance everybody. Make it hot in this party. Everybody dance now.
Don't know what's on your mind.
Oh.
We come for you have a good time. Me want you on your waistline.
What?
Me want you shake your behind. I'm in a dancing mood, girl, and I'm feeling good. This is my favorite tune. Put on your dancing shoes. Gonna make you feel so good tonight, girl. We gonna make you feel alright.
I came to rock at this party, 'cause I can make you feel alright. Sweet boy, rock your body, rock it straight through the night. Oh, you want this body?
Say what?
Oh, you want it now? Sweet boy, rock your body, 'cause I'ma make you mine tonight.
Let's go. Oh. Let's go. Oh, dance. Now everybody move. Now everybody shake. Now everybody.
Do the hottest thing in all the dance, girl, want test you. Don't stand a chance, no. Girl, you look better than them, yes. You dress nicer than them, yes. Hold me tight, girl, hold me tight.
What?
Run me waist, girl, run me waist, girl.
What?
Take me rock, girl, take me rock, girl.
Oh.
Wipe me off,
Let's go.
try me off.
I came to rock at this party,
Let's go, let's
'cause I can
go.
make you feel alright. Sweet boy, rock your body, rock it straight through the night. Oh, you want this body? Oh, you want it now?
Say what?
Sweet boy, rock your body, 'cause I'ma make you mine tonight. I came to rock at this party,
Let's go, let's
'cause I can
go.
make you feel alright. Sweet boy, rock your body, rock it straight through the night. Oh, you want this body? Oh, you want it now?
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Pilates. Happy Wednesday. But we're going to get at the back of our mats. We're starting our practice here with our feet together. Bring your ankles together. Bring your toes together. We will take a little turn out of our toes, drawing them towards the upper corners of our mat. And then we'll let our heels follow, so our feet are stacked about underneath our hips here. From here, let's press our big toes into the mat, each of our little toes into the mat, grounding ourselves, preparing to spend the next 45 minutes fully engaged with this movement, spending our time here. From here, we're going to take a little bend through the knees, and we're going to squeeze up through those glutes before bracing through our core. We're going to pull that belly button back towards our spine, and we can take a couple rows of our shoulders. Just warming up through the shoulders a little bit. On this last little row of the shoulders, let's set them back and away from our ears, shining our chest proud. We're going to take this alignment into our warm-up today, where we're going to hinge at the hips and the glutes to the back of the room. Hands are going to travel down our shins, fingertips moving away from center here. Nice big inhale, work those hands up to about mid-thigh. Back's going to stay nice and flat here. Big exhale on the way down. We're just going to warm up through this movement today. Saying good morning to our posterior chain. As we're doing this, we want to feel the stretch travel through our posterior chain. We feel it stretch in our hamstrings as we begin through the movement. Moves into our glutes, and then finally into our lower back as we stretch those fingertips away from center. And then as we inhale back on up, we kind of feel the reverse of that stretch, where we feel that low back relax through the glutes, and then finally through the hamstrings. Let's get two more here. On this last one, see if we can stretch those fingertips just a little bit further than we've sent them so far. From here, we'll inhale up into our circle sweep, leading with our heart, sending those fingertips up towards the sky. Nice big exhale here. We'll hinge at those hips and those glutes to the back of the room. Hands will come on down to the mat here. From here, we can make a little tent with our fingers. And we're going to take a big inhale as we lift through those left fingertips, drawing them up towards the sky. Gently bending through the knees here. Nice big exhale. We'll sweep those hands back on down. We'll take that inhale, sweep into the opposite arm. Once again, stretching those fingertips up towards the sky, opening up through the lungs. Nice big exhale as we sweep down. Let's get one more each side. Big inhale, gentle bend through the knees. Those fingertips up towards the ceiling. Nice big exhale as we sweep them on down. Next time we set those fingertips on down, finding a little tent through our fingertips. We're going to stay here, keeping that bend through the knees. We're going to take a lift through the left heel, drawing that left knee up towards our chest, and then lowering on down through that heel, coming into the opposite side. We're going to alternate through these heel lifts here, just saying hello to our calf stretch today, saying a little bit more of a hello to our hamstring stretch. If it's not feeling great to have our hands all the way down on the mat, we can work those hands down up to our knees and continue to walk it out from here. Any way about it, just check in with ourselves. See where we're holding that tension in our body today. We can play around with the stretch a little bit by bringing those knees towards the edges of the mat or holding that stretch lengthened. Just check in with yourself. See what you're needing today. And we're here for 3. When we're ready, let's come on back to stillness together. We're once again going to inhale into that circle sweep, leading with our heart. Send those fingertips up towards the sky. Nice big exhale here. We'll hinge at those hips. Send those glutes to the back of the room. Hands are going to come on down to the mat. From here, we walk those hands on over to our left-hand side of the mat. Fingertips pointing away from center here. We're going to keep a big bend through the knees as we move through the side body stretch. This is a really nice one to find a challenge for ourselves by walking those fingertips just a little bit further away. Nice big inhale. Let's walk those hands back through center. Before we walk them on over to our right hand side. Once again, we can find a good challenge for ourselves by walking those fingertips away from our center point. We're keeping that bend through our knees. When we're ready, let's inhale. Walk those hands back through center. From here, we'll let our hands find our elbows. We're letting the crown of our head hang down heavy towards the ground. We're finding our dead hang. I want you to just focus on letting yourself become heavy through the crown of your head. Let your upper body go on vacation here. Let gravity take control. Once we feel that we've released into this stretch, we can start a little swivel in our hips if it's in our practice today, moving side to side. And we're here for 4. When we're ready, let's come back through center together. We'll inhale into our full circle sweep, leading with our hearts. And those fingertips up towards the sky. Nice big exhale here. We'll hinge with those hips and those glutes to the back of the room. Hands coming on down to the mat. Walk those hands out towards the tippy top of the mat, coming into our plank position here. Option to stay in our full plank here, or option to join me in our kneeling plank to begin with. Either way, we're going to brace through our core. Pull that belly button back towards our spine. We're going to find those crocodile arms down, bending those elbows in towards our waist as we lower ourselves on down to the ground. Once we're down here, we're going to keep those hands pressed underneath our shoulders. We're going to plant our thighs onto the mat, plant the tops of our feet onto the mat. We're going to come into our chest lift here. So on our next big inhale, we'll inhale, pulling our head and chest up off the mat, letting those hands hover up by our shoulders. Nice big exhale, we can release on down to the mat. And as we inhale, we can once again come into that chest lift. As we're doing this is a really great one to take at the pacing of your own breath. Feeling a natural release as we exhale out. Inhaling to pull ourselves up towards the sky. Let's get 2 more here. Beautiful work. Let's get 1 more. We're going to add those legs in and 1. Next time we release on down to the mat, we're going to meet here. On our next big inhale, can we lift through the legs as well? Inhaling up to this top point, squeezing those glutes to hold here. Exhaling as we melt on down. Inhaling all the way up, squeeze through those glutes here. Let's get 2 more. And next time that we inhale up to this top point, can you meet me here? If it's in our practice, maybe we want to send those fingertips out in front of us, lengthening through our whole body. Fingertips and toes going to our opposite sides of the room. If we want a little more, we can take a bend to those elbows, drawing those elbows in towards our waist. Finding some W motions through the arms here, just opening up through the lungs. Let's get 1 more here. Next time that we draw those hands in towards our shoulders, we're going to let ourselves melt all the way down. We'll press our palms into the ground here, coming up into a 4-point position. Hands will stack underneath shoulders here, knees will stack underneath hips. We can take a little tuck through the toes here, and we're going to use our core. Lift those knees up off the mat, come into our hover. From here, let's send those hips up into the air, coming into our downward dog. We're shining our chest towards our thighs. Our seat bones are going up to that tallest point. If it's in our practice, maybe we want to walk this downward dog out, bending the knees in towards the chest. Just giving ourselves a stretch through the hamstrings. And we're here for 3. When we're ready, let's come on back to stillness together. We're going to inhale, take a really slow lift of that left leg, drawing it up towards the sky. Left heel goes up towards the ceiling. Let's square those pinky toes down with the ground. Hold ourselves lifted here. Find some stability in this movement. Can we send those heels a little taller? If we want a little more, we can take a bend in this leg, drawing our heels over our glutes, opening up those hips to the side of the room. Nice big inhale. Can we extend through that leg again? Point through those toes. We'll take a big exhale. Step that foot forward to be framed by our hands, coming into our low lunge here. From here, we'll find our world's greatest stretch by inhaling to open up same arm towards same inner thigh. Send those fingertips up towards the sky. Anytime we come to this world's greatest stretch, we want to see the whole back of our hands. Nice big exhale. We can sweep those hands back on down. Big inhale to lengthen right back up towards the sky. We'll take an exhale to sweep those hands down, planting our hands to the sides of our feet. We'll come into our hip flexor stretch here. Drawing our heels to the front of the mat and then back to the back of the mat. Just settling a little deeper into the stretch. If we want a little more in this stretch, we can bring our hands to our chest and continue to rock it out from here. And let's stay here for 3. When we're ready, we'll plant those hands back to the sides of our feet. We can hop or step that back foot forward to meet our front at the tippy top of the mat. From here, we'll come into our halfway fold first. Inhaling to shine our chest forward. Back's going to stay nice and flat here. We'll take a big exhale as we melt on down. Big inhale into our full circle sleep, leading with our heart. Send those fingertips up towards the sky. And nice big exhale here. We'll hinge at the hips and the glutes to the back of the room. Hands will come to the sides of our feet. From here, we'll hop or step those feet back behind us, coming into our plank position once again. Hands will stack underneath shoulders. And we'll once again brace through that core by pulling that belly button back towards our spine. Once again, find those crocodile arms, taking that bend in towards our waist. Defying gravity all the way down. Once we're down here, we'll take those hands underneath our shoulders and we'll send our shins on over to the edges of the mat. Heels are pointing up towards the sky. We're going to find our little shuffle here. So we can windshield wiper those heels on over to our left-hand side and then over to the right-hand side. Drawing our heels from side to side on the mat, giving ourselves a little stretch through the back. And this is a really great one to play around with as well. Finding a stretch that works for you. Maybe you want to try drawing our heels up to the sky and adding a little bit more here. It's up to you. Just play around with the stretch a little bit. See what feels right. We're here for 3. And last one. When we're ready, we'll once again draw those heels up towards the sky, pointing those heels up towards the ceiling. Let's press our palms into the mat, coming up into our 4-point position once again. Hands will stack underneath shoulders, knees will stack underneath hips. From here, we'll take a little tuck through the toes. We use our core, lift those knees up off the mat, come into our hover. From here, let's send those hips up into the air, coming into our downward dog once again. Shine those seat bones up to their tallest points. Feet are about hip distance apart. From here, we can once again walk that downward dog out, drawing our knees in towards our chest. If you want to change things up a little bit and draw opposite knee towards opposite elbow, that's a great option here. See how that changes that stretch a little bit? We are here for 5. When we're ready, let's come on back to stillness together, drawing the seat bones up to their tallest points. We're going to take a big inhale as we sweep that right leg up towards the sky. We're going to square our pinky toes down with the ground. See if we can send those heels up just a little taller. If you want a little more, you can take a bend in that knee, drawing our heels over our glutes, opening up those hips to the side of the room. Nice big inhale. We can point through those toes once again. We can take a big exhale to step that foot forward to be framed by our hands, coming into our low lunge here. From here, we'll come into our world's greatest stretch once again. Inhaling to open up same arm towards same inner thigh, sending those fingertips up towards the ceiling. And nice big exhale. We'll let those hands come on down nice and slow. And big inhale right back up. Let's take an exhale as we sweep those hands back on down to the mat. Planting those hands to the sides of our feet, let's come into our hip flexor stretch on this side. Once again, shifting our weight forward over our toes, and then sending our heels back to the back of the mat. Just going to settle a little deeper into the stretch. Once again, option here to bring our hands to our chest and continue to get a little bit deeper into this hip flexor stretch. We're going to keep those back knees floating here as we work through this hip flexor stretch. From here, we can plant those hands down to the sides of our feet and hop and step that back foot forward to meet our front to the top of the mat. From here, we'll come into our halfway fold first, inhaling as we shine our chest forward. Back's going to stay nice and flat at this top point. Big exhale as we come on down. Nice big inhale into our circle sweep, leading with our hearts and those fingertips up towards the sky. And nice big exhale here. We'll hinge at those hips and those glutes to the back of the room. And big inhale back up to the sky, because I forgot we had for a second round. All right, once we're here, let's find our little good morning stretch, little side rotation, whatever feels right for us this morning. We're just saying good morning to our back. From here, we'll once again inhale to send those fingertips up towards the sky. Let's roll out those wrists a little bit. One of my wrists is extra sore today, so we're going to give them some little extra love here. We'll take a nice big inhale here up towards the sky and roll out the opposite direction. And that'll wrap up our warm-up for today. So when we're ready, we can grab some water. We're headed down to the mat for our first core track of the day. We'll need some weights for this one. We'll come on down into our seated position. So coming on down to the mat here, we'll rest those seat bones into the mat. We'll take our hands to the nooks of our knees, and we'll gently lower on down to the mat. We're going to come into our imprinted spinal position here. So we're going to press that low back into the mat. You want to think about taking a little tuck out of our pelvis so we can lay that spine completely into the mat, almost like we're trying to leave the mark of our spine in the ground here. We'll grab those weights, have them somewhere handy here. And we'll take those feet about palms distance away from our booties. And then we're going to take one little step out away from our palms, bringing our feet just a little bit further away from our glutes today. From here, let's grab those weights. We're going to send them up over our chest. We're going to take a breath to inhale to prepare. Next, exhale. We're going to draw those weights up above our knees, coming into a little chest lift here. We'll inhale back to release. So as we exhale, we're drawing the weights over our knees, closing that distance between our ribs and our hips, inhaling as we release on down. We're warming up those abs starting here. Let's get 5 more. I want to keep that low back pressing into the mat. We're grounding through our heels. Let's get 3 more. And last 2. We're going to add on in 1. Next time that we exhale up, we're going to draw those weights all the way up over our knees, drawing our chest parallel with our thighs. We'll inhale slowly to release on back, grounding through our heels still here. We're exhaling up, drawing those weights all the way above our knees, inhaling slowly to release back. Thinking about replacing our spine one vertebrae down on the mat at a time. We're going to warm up into this core track here for 4. As we're doing this, we really want to avoid letting momentum drive us up. We want to be focusing on taking this as slowly and controlled as possible. So we're exhaling up, drawing those weights above our knees, letting ourselves almost inch forward. And then as we inhale back, one vertebrae goes down at a time. Beautiful work. We're still exhaling on our way up, inhaling as we release on down. We have 2 more here. And last one. Next time that we exhale up to this top weight, can you meet me here? We're going to find a single arm row, drawing that left elbow close towards our waist, pressing it back out to the front. Right elbow is going to row back as well. And we're going to inhale to release back. So we're going to find those single arm rows at this top point. We can melt down just a little bit. Find that row through each arm, keeping those elbows close in towards our center. Inhaling as we release on back. Beautiful work. Every time that we're exhaling up, we're closing that distance between our ribs and our hips. Let's get 3 more here. If you want a little bit more, you can walk those feet in a little closer to your glutes, and that's going to work a bit more of your core here. And last one. Next time we exhale up to this top point, can you meet me here? We're going to turn this single arm row into a double row. Both elbows close, keeping close in towards our waist. Press it back out to the front. Inhale as we release on down. Beautiful work. Just turn that single arm row into our double row. Both elbows skating close in towards our waist. We're gonna add on in 5. Let's get 4 more here. Check in with our core engagement. Are we still pulling that belly button back towards our spine? Pacing this with our breath work. And last one. Next time we exhale up to this top point, can you meet me here? We're going to come back into those single arm rows, but we're just staying here. Keep working through those arms. We're here for 5. We're going to add a little bit of rotation here in 4. Keep those arms working here for 3. And last 2. Next time we draw both of those weights to the front of the room, could you meet me here? Next time we come into that single arm row, skating that elbow past our waist, drawing it back behind us. Line of vision's following that weight. Bring it back to the front. Beautiful work. And we are here for 5. And last 3. And last 1. Next time we draw those weights out to the front of the room, can you meet me here? We're coming back into that recline on our next inhale. As we exhale up, we're coming up to this top point. We're going to open up through the chest, come into our chest fly. Tap those weights back to the front. Inhale to release it back. Anytime that we're coming into these chest flies, you want to think about sending your elbows to the back of the room. We're pressing through this movement, pressing our chest forward, drawing those elbows right back. We're squeezing those shoulder blades together. Imagine you're pinching a pencil in between your shoulder blades. Let's get 5 more here. Keep those elbows floating. Here for 3. And last 2. Next time we come on up to this top point, we're going to stay with these chest flies. Come on up to this top point. We're going to recline it back just a little bit. Stay with these chest flies. Elbows are floating. Work through your back. Press through these flies. Here for 5. Keep those elbows floating. Here for 3. We're going to pulse it out. Last one, draw those elbows to the back of the room. Pulse it out here. And 5. And 3. 2. And 1. Beautiful work. Lose those weights. Shake out those shoulders. You killed it. We'll grab some water and then we're headed on up for the next track of today. We're going to work some legs, work some arms. So there's an option to go a little bit heavier on this track here. And we're going to come on up to standing at the top of our mats here. So for this one, we're going to begin by drawing that weight on up towards our shoulders. We're going to keep a little bend through that elbow. And we're going to come into our high heel position of this foot. So we're going to lift that heel up off the ground and we're going to stay with most of our weight in this working leg over here. We can take this opposite hand and it can come to just sit right behind us on our tailbone here. From here, we're going to begin by keeping this weight hover, just resting it just above our shoulder, and sit it on down into a squat. We're going to press it up, stand on up, and then drop it back down into that squat. Just warm up into this movement. Say hello to our hamstrings, hello to those quads, hello to our glutes. We're going to add in arms in 4. Want to keep that weight in our stabilizing leg. And last one. Next time we come on down to this bottom point, we're going to take a lift of that weight as we draw it up to the sky. Drop it on down as we come into that squat. Beautiful work. Keep it slow and controlled. Warming up into this movement. You're killing it. Here for 3. Last one. Next time we come on down to our bottom of our squat, meet me here. From here, we're going to stay low in the squat. We're going to step that working leg back. Drop those knees on down. Lengthen through the arm. Press it back up to the front, all the way up towards the sky. Lengthen through that arm. Drop it back into our 90-90 lunge. Beautiful work. Keep this slow and controlled. Drop it down into that squat. Lengthen through the arm. Step that knee back. Don't cheat those squats. Beautiful work. We're here for 5. Gonna add it on in 4. Last 3. Beautiful work. Next time we come on down to this 90-90, I want you to meet me here. We're going to add a row in this lunge. Press it forward all the way up to the sky. Drop it down into that squat. Find that row. Beautiful work. Here for 3. Last one. We're going to drop it down into this lunge. Stay with that row. Elbows skating past our waist. We're going to lengthen through that arm in 3. Last one. Lengthen through that arm. Lower those weights on down. Pulse it out here. Here for 5. And 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful work. Shake out those legs. We're going to come through center before we go onto the opposite side. Give our stabilizing leg a little bit of love. We're going to come back into our full squat here. So let's take those feet out just a little bit wider than they were before. Just a little bit wider than hips. We'll send those toes towards opposite sides of the room. We're going to bring those weights to our shoulders. We're going to start off nice here with a little squat. Just sit it on down like we're sitting into a chair, and then press it up. We're sending those knees out over our pinky toes. Beautiful work. Here for 5. Let's get 4 more. Last 3. Gonna add those arms in 2. Next time we bring it on down, we're gonna add those arms in. Press them up to the sky to power us up. Back to our shoulders as we come into that squat. Beautiful work. Here for 5. Last 3. Two more. Next time we come on down to this bottom point, we're going to come into our 1.5s. Halfway up, all the way down, all the way up. Beautiful work. Here for 3. Last one. Send it all the way down. Pulse it out here. And 5, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful work. All right, we got to give our opposite side some love. So we can lose one of those weights if we want to. Grab some water on our way. And we're going to finish out on the opposite side.
Sometimes I find another world inside my mind when I realize the crazy things we do.
All right, so whichever leg was working last time, that's going to be our stabilizing leg. I'll take that high heel position. Weight's going to come rest right on top of that shoulder. Start out with those squats. Once again, just sit on down. And then press it up. Beautiful work. Gonna add those arms in 4. Last one. Next time we come on up, let's take a lift through those arms. Think about that weight powering you up towards the sky. Here for 5. Keep that heel lifted. Here for 3. Add those 90-90s in 2. Next time we come on down, we're going to take a step back, lengthen through those arms, step it back forward. Beautiful work. Here for 3. We're going to add that row in 2. Last one. Next time we come on down, we're going to add that row. Skate those elbows past our waist. Press it up. Last 3. Last one. Come on down. Let's stay with that row. Skate those elbows past our waist. Here for 3. Keep that knee down. Last one. Let's lengthen through those arms. Pulse it up. Here for 5. You have it. Here for 3. 2. And 1. Beautiful work. Let's lose those weights. We'll grab some water, then we're headed into our cool down. Killed it. Let's come on down. So for a cool down, let's send each of those fingertips and toes towards opposite sides of the room. Just taking a couple of breaths here, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. When we're ready, let's stretch those fingertips back behind our head, like we're waking up, saying a good morning stretch. And then next exhale, let's pull them down to our 90-90s, parallel with our shoulders. We'll inhale to send back over our head. Exhale to pull down to those 90-90s. We're just skating those arms. Let's get 3 more here. And last 2. Next time we draw those fingertips back behind our head, can you meet me here? We're going to draw our thumbs down towards the ground and pinkies towards the sky. Next big exhale. Let's draw our pinkies towards our thighs. Next inhale, we're gonna draw our thumbs back behind our head. We're gonna take a couple breaths here, thinking about just sweeping through the arms. We're inhaling as we lengthen, thinking about drawing our air in to make ourselves taller. And exhaling as we get smaller, shrinking through those arms. Let's take 2 more sweeps here. And last one. Next time that we send our pinkies towards our thighs, can you meet me here? We're going to take an exhale, pull that left knee in towards our chest, hug it in towards our hearts. We'll use our hands, guide that knee in some little circles, just giving our hips some love. Let's let those circles get just a little bit larger as we go. Next big inhale, let's send those legs away from our center. We'll exhale to pull the opposite knee in towards our chest, hugging it in towards our heart here. Let's use our hands, guide that knee in some little circles. We'll let those circles get just a little bit larger as we go. Next big inhale, let's send those legs away from our center point. We'll take a big exhale, pull both knees in towards our chest, hug them in towards our hearts. We can use our hands, stabilizing ourselves as we give ourselves a little massage to the back against the mat. Just rolling out our hips, rolling out our shoulders, rolling out our back, wherever we're holding tension today. Let's see if we can roll out those shoulders just a little bit more, roll out our hips a little bit more. From here, let's come on back to stillness together. We're going to work our hands to the bases of our feet, drawing our heels up towards the sky, coming into our happy baby here. From here in our happy baby, we can pedal out our legs, rock and roll side to side, up and down. Just bring some joy into our practice today. What does your inner happy baby feel like today? When we're ready here, let's work our hands to the bases of our knees. Bring your hands to the nooks of our knees. We'll rock and roll on up. From here, let's send those knees to the sides of our bodies before we turn to find our tabletop position. Here, hands will stack underneath shoulders. Knees will stack underneath hips. From here, we're going to begin by drawing that left knee in towards our elbow. We're going to find some half circles here, just opening up through the hips. You can think about just drawing a little half circle with that knee. Keeping our torso nice and stable here. You can point through the toes. Beautiful work. Let's get 3 more here. And last one. From here, let's set that knee back on down, coming into our 4-point position. From here, let's take these left fingertips, placing them behind our left ear. We'll take a big inhale, drawing those elbows up towards the sky. Nice big exhale to tuck it underneath our opposite armpit. Big inhale to send those elbows up tall. Exhale to tuck it underneath our opposite armpit. Let's get 3 more here. Next time that we draw those elbows up towards the sky, let's lengthen through that whole arm, drawing our fingertips up towards the sky. Nice big exhale. We'll sweep it underneath our opposite armpit, drawing that shoulder on down to the ground. Come into our thread the needle here. We can rest our shoulder on down at the mat, rest our head on down at the mat. From here, let's press back into our 4-point position. Hands stacking underneath shoulders, knees stacking underneath hips. From here, we'll come into our right hand side. So we'll draw that right knee towards our right elbow, coming into those half circles to begin with. We can point through the toes here, keep our torso nice and stable. Let's get 3 more on this side. Just giving our hips a little bit of love. And last one. From here, let's plant those knees back on down. We're going to take our right fingertips, placing them behind our ear. Let's take a big inhale, drawing those elbows up towards the sky. Nice big exhale to tuck it underneath our opposite armpit. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Inhaling it up, exhaling to tuck it down. Next time that we inhale up, let's lengthen through those fingertips, drawing our fingertips up towards the sky. Nice big exhale. We'll tuck it underneath our opposite armpit. Threading the needle here, we can plant our shoulder on down to the ground. Our line of vision's looking out over our fingertips. From here, let's press it up into our 4-point position once again. And we're going to come into a freedom of flow here. We can exhale to arch the back, tuck the pelvis, take a look at our knees. Inhale as we drop our belly button on down towards the ground. Take a look up at the sky. Let's take a couple flows through cat and cow. Just taking this at the pacing of our own breath. I invite you to really take some deep breaths here. Fully letting that breath drive into your lungs. Let it fuel your practice. Invite it within you. Let's get 3 more. We're taking 2 more breaths here between cat and cow. Let's come back to neutral spine, halfway between our cat and cow. From here, we're going to bring our ankles together, widen the straddle of our knees, sit back onto our heels, coming into our child's pose position. We can send those fingertips up towards the tippy top of the mat, and this is going to be where we close out our class for today. As we wrap up this session together, I think this is a great time to thank yourselves for setting this time aside in your busy lives and schedules. Taking time to start your day by checking in with yourselves, building your mind-muscle connection. Thank yourself for taking this time out of your day, for getting out of bed in mornings where it felt very difficult. Thank yourself for carving this time out of your schedule. Think about how special that is that you have been able to prioritize your physical health in this way. And thank your body for the hard work that it's done for you today in this class. The hard work it's done for you over this whole session. The times where you've pushed yourselves, your bodies. Thank our bodies for the hard work they do for us every single day. The hard work they'll continue to do for us today. And as we wrap out our class today, I want to thank you for sharing this practice with me and with each other. This is a really fun Pilates class, and I'm so glad we got to start our Monday and Wednesdays together. When we're ready, we can walk those hands in towards our chest, coming on up to the day. Thank you all so much for being here. I know you have a wonderful Wednesday ahead of you. I'm stoked for you. We will have registration up and running here pretty soon for next session. So Pilates will still be up and running at the same time. I'll send a message to the team chat as well to remind everybody with the link to registration, all that good stuff. But thank you all so much. And I really hope you have a great rest of your day. We will be meeting during the bye week next week. So if you want a little bit extra Pilates in your life next week, Monday and Wednesday morning, I'll be here. And yeah, have a great rest of your day.